Hi everybody, welcome back to the developer track of CloudStack Collaboration Conference. Next up, we've got Sven and Hui. They're going to be talking about the work they've been doing on integrating the Tungsten SDN fabric with Apache Cloudstack. So everybody, please give Sven and Hui a big warm virtual welcome. Over to you guys.
Hi, so welcome to my track to our track to Tungsten Fabric SDN integration today. It's Sven and Hui from EWERK Group. So we talk about the Tungsten Fabric integration, SDN integration in CloudStack. So and the history and what's done today and what we have to do in the future, and and what's the development state, and who you will give a demonstration later in the talk, and a live demonstration, what is implemented and what is working from some features. So first of all, I will introduce all things and from the history. So just a moment. So for that, so we for Tungsten Fabric, the history is that I talked. I think so 1.5 years I talked with Simon Vogel from INA, and we had a similar talk to the last European user group meeting from Simon Vogel, and it was a thing that we both use. We talked many times about KVM and other features and issues, and we thought how we can get maybe another SDN into CloudStack. So the main problem for us was there was Nuage on the market, and Nuage from Nokia was gone away. So they removed all features. So they don't develop it anymore for I think so for CloudStack. And so for enterprise, sometimes our network guys, and I think on INA side it's the same, we need a more enterprise ready software-defined network. And so we looked over the market, and there was no Nuage and NSX. There are very high licensing costs, and it's not open source, and other things like Rios. There was some implementations. People try to implement it in CloudStack, but it was not the best way for us. So, and we talked many times, and then there comes a day for 13 months. So we decide to contribute a dedicated developer, one developer from INA and one developer from EWERK. So it's Lee Min Hui and Radu from INA. Lee Min Hui is from EWERK. So they will build this plugin and they will develop it. And and we are we support how we can in the infrastructure. So from the infrastructure side, for that we need to say that many thanks to Nathan Josen, David Mabry, and thanks to Dan Hoagland for the continued help with initial code review. I hope so we get more code review in the future, and because it's a big block of code, so what I see. And so what we do in the community, or open source community, we found a special interest group, and the special interest group is Tungsten Fabric SDN. And that's where we started. And the main point was I will give some overview about Tungsten Fabric. So there was some goals. That's what I talk is at a widely adopted SDN fabric to fill a feature gap in ACS. That's what we want. We don't want virtual routers as virtual machines. Then utilize Tungsten for enhanced security and compliance. So because we have some customers, I think it's the same like INA, and they need more compliance and security features or special security features, especially the network guys. Then it was important to get the offload network processing for high performance, DPTK, and then a fully feature. What we try is attempt to provide a fully feature integration as possible, because we are orientated on on the virtual router side from CloudStack, the native software router space. Yeah, we try to look for the features on this side and on the other side, and yeah, and so ENA and we are using mostly KVM, but in the meantime we also started with VMware. But that's the point for us why we choose Tungsten. Tungsten is has a good integration in Kubernetes. It really heavily used in OpenStack community, and also you can use it with OpenShift, and you can also use it with KVM, yeah, and you can use it with VMware. And yeah, and our network guys asked many times, I think it's the same by Ina, to enable advanced routing features like BGP, MPLS, and LDP. And this one was the point where we say, okay, let's start with this with Tungsten Fabric. Tungsten Fabric is from history, comes from Juniper. It was developed closed source, then they gave an open source version to the community, and then later, I think for a year or 1.5 years, they moved them to the code base, or actually they moved the code base to Free Software Foundation. Yeah, I think so. And yeah, that's the point why we started with the implementation of Tungsten Fabric. So here we have some features from Tungsten Fabric, so it's maybe interesting for all people. So we have a high performance interface, so you can run db-dk. Most of things in KVM, it's a kernel module. Yeah. You have a managed network lifecycle. Yeah, that is important. You have an API and you have your own web front end. And the idea is to implement the features like the VPC, like the virtual cloud router, and the same feature. You can all use all features from CloudStack side, which are possible at the moment. But if you have network guys, they need more special things like VRFs and other things and API, so you can use them this additional on the top, yeah, and you can use it from Tungsten side. Then the point is static net, source NAT is possible. Port forwarding or load balancing is also possible. So for load balancing, maybe we can talk some things about it. So he opened a ticket, and he will contribute some code to the Tungsten Fabric community, because we need some certificate. We need the possibility to add a certificate. Then an important point is to get BGP, peering and private BGP as a service. Yeah, that's true. I talked about the full IP set. You have a full IP set. Now the documentation will be better and better. You have service chaining, yeah, and firewall capabilities, yeah, and yeah, it's the same like in the other implementation of network things in CloudStack. But what you also have is what's important for us. You have VXLAN or MPLS. Most of our customers will come with MPLS networks, and the main point is our fabrics, our network fabrics in the data center mostly run with EVPN or VXLAN. And you know, if you have this in the front, and you have a VLAN based router on the backside, that is not so easy to implement. And sometimes it's better if you have a software driven stack. Yeah, we use Cumulus. Now today it's NVIDIA as network stack. So it's easier to get a homogeneous infrastructure, yeah, and you don't have to switch from EVPN, VXLAN to VLAN, and this is not, that's not so easy for the network guys. It's more, you can more scale, yeah, in the time. Yeah, then you have an application-based security policy, yeah, East-West concept. It's the same like I think Nuage had it, and you have the same like. Let me say, if you use NSX from VMware, you have the same concept, yeah. And what's also important, I think, in the meantime, we have it in CloudStack 2 in the routers. It's a dual stack IPv4 and IPv6 support. And yeah, that was important. The important point for us, and I think there's more features to implement this. And yeah, the guys Radu and Hui, they are working hard on this on this implementation. Yeah, and yeah, we hope from the community, please look into the code. Yeah, also Dan, please look if you find something what's not good and help these guys. That would be nice. And I think now we can switch to the demonstration from Hui. He can demonstrate it, I think, in the old user interface from CloudStack, which is deprecated. But there is a new PR from our one of our developers. So he it will be also come an integration into the new UI that is clear, and there is a pull request. And you can also look to the pull request from Hui and Radu. And yeah, for that, I think we can switch to the demonstration to Hui, and yeah, enjoy it, please. Okay, what should we do, Giles?
Yes, and if Hui just shares his screen, and Hui, make sure your mic and camera are on, you should transfer over.
Okay, I will stop the screen sharing.
Stop the sharing.
I stopped screen sharing.
Okay. Hello everyone, I'm Hui. Today I will demo about the Tungsten Fabric plugin for CloudStack. First of all, I will show how to create an advanced zone with the Tungsten Fabric. First of all, we create the advanced zone as normal. And when we configure the physical network, we choose the TF in isolation method for the Tungsten, and also in the traffic, we use the default interface of the router in the Tungsten Fabric like this, and also for other network. Okay, and the network is the same. Okay, at this point, we will configure the Tungsten provider. The first is the name, and in the host name, we choose the IP address of the config node of the Tungsten Fabric. It will provide the API for the config API for the CloudStack. And we can see the config nodes in the Tungsten web UI. And the next required is the Tungsten gateway. It's the vital gateway for the public network. And also it's just a box you can leave it blank so that will use default. And the other is the same as normal zone. And I prepare for saving time. I prepare a zone, advanced zone with the Tungsten Fabric already. So when the zone will create, we can see that in the Tungsten Fabric, it create a public network and a measurement network, and also some policy for the network. And also it create a virtual gateway for the public network. We can check it like this. In the public network, we will see that the virtual gateway that we choose on the when we configure the Tungsten provider, and we can see it in the gateway in here. And after the zone were created and enabled, and when the CloudStack spams some system VM, we can see it, and in turn, the Tungsten provider will create some box for each for the system VM. As you can see, the console flow C from in the management network and some box for them, and it's also create some tab interface. Like this. Okay. Now I will try to add a net isolated network like network 1. And also a VM for in that network. Okay. And when the first VM were created in the Tungsten Fabric, we'll create a guest network. It means that network 1 that we create in the CloudStack, and it also has a policy for them. I will show it later. And when the VM1 were created, it's also create a box for VM1, as we can see. Yeah. And it's also create a tab interface for VM1 in here. Now we try to access outside from the VM1. As we can see, it still cannot pin to the global. That's it because when we create the network, it has a network policies that deny the outside traffic. Yeah. And if we check it flow from that VM, as we can see here, the flow from the VM1 to the Google. The action were dropped by policy. D, it means drop. And if I add correct rule for it, let's see. When I add a correct rule for it in the network policy of the Sangtang, you see a rule that permit from the network 1 to the outside. And in the flow, let's check again. The action now is F, it means forward. And let's see the traffic. The ICMP traffic is okay now. So that is the firewall for the network. And also let's check the gateway. As we can see here, the traffic from 3.200 to the Google, and this IP address we can check it in the CloudStack. That is a subnet IP address, so it means the Tungsten Fabric nets the traffic from the local VM to the outside with that IP address. And now I will continue with the static NAT filter. And first I need to guess an IP address. When I get a new IP address in the Tungsten Fabric, it will create a floating IP, the same with the IP. And if I enable static NAT rule for VM1, and in the Tungsten Fabric, we will see it will have a map to IP address of the VM1. And we need also add a firewall rule for that IP. Example. And also when we add the firewall rule in the Tungsten Fabric, also as a network policy to the IP address, for the IP address in the public network in here. And now we will try to access to that IP address. Yes, it's 2.5 VM. That is a VM1. And now I will enable the HTTPD service. And we can check this in the web service. As you can see, we can access it with that IP to the local VM. So that is a staticness filter when applied on the Tungsten Fabric. And now I will go to the forwarding filter, but I need to add a new VM first. SDN2. And also get a new IP address for port forwarding rule. I will map it from 22 to 2 at the VM2 at 80 to 8 at VM2. And also a firewall rule for this. Okay, now we will try with access to it.
Hui,
Yes.
there's just a couple of minutes left. Do you want to allow some time for some questions, or do you want to just finish your demo? It's your decision.
My demo just starts. It's only a little of it. Okay, and the same when for forwarding when we create buffer rule, it's the same in the floating IP also in the Tungsten, and the difference is when you can see it. It's the port mapping. It has a port mapping setting that we setting in the CloudStack. Okay. So now with the load balancing rule, I also add a new IP address for load balancing rule. I add,
Okay, Hui, Sven,
yes.
I'm gonna have to ask you to wrap up, guys, because we've got the next talks are starting soon. Do you want to just wrap up?
Yes. So we can. I stop the demo now, and I will say last words to the presentation.
Sure.
And so I will switch to my screen back. Oh, I cannot switch.
Yeah, you've got
Hui,
about 30 seconds,
can you
Sven.
okay, Hui, can you stop the screen? Yeah. Okay. We have only last second. So what left to do is integration and unit tests to cover all Tungsten features, testing Tungsten features together. So with the community, please help us move Tungsten API client to CloudStack repository. That's what you have to do. That's the last things. And yeah, many thanks to Simon Weller, to Radu, and to Hui. Nice demo. And I think if there are questions, so I changed the target a little higher to 4.17 and so 4.18. It's because it's a lot of code block and a lot of things to do and to test. But maybe, yeah, we will see how it's in some months. But I think end of the year it's not ready. I think so maybe in the first quarter of the next year. So there are some links. You can check the pull request and architecture of Tungsten Fabric and the quick start guide. So I hope, yeah, the presentation was good for you. And if you have more questions, please contact us. And there are our email addresses. And yeah, we are happy. Thank you.
Sven, thank you, Sven and Hui. Thank you very much, everybody. Please give the guys a big, warm, virtual round of applause. Guys, just to let you know, there are quite a few questions in the Q&A panel. Would you mind going in and just answering those on chat so people can get an answer? But for the moment, that's it. Thank you.